The appendicular skeleton. First we have the pectoral girdle, which includes the clavicle and the scapula. The lateral end, which is the acromion, articulates with the medial end, forming the sternoclavicular joint. Then we have the scapula. On the scapula we have the coracoid process. We have the subscapular fossa in here. We have the glenoid cavity here. Then, looking posteriorly, we have the spine of the scapula, the acromion, the supraspinatus fossa, the infraspinatus fossa. We have the sternoclavicular joint here, and we have the acromioclavicular joint here. Moving on to the arm, looking anteriorly at the humerus, we have the greater tubercle here, the head of the humerus, the lesser tubercle here, the deltoid tuberosity, the medial epicondyle, and the lateral epicondyle. We have the coronoid process, which interacts with the coronoid fossa, which interacts with the coronoid process. This would be the coronoid fossa right here. We have the capitulum, which articulates with the radial notch of the ulna, and now it's here. We have the trochlea notch of the ulna, and we have the olecranian fossa, which articulates with the olecranian process. Then we have the ulna, the olecranian, the coronoid process, the styloid process, and we have the radius, with the head of the radius, the radial tuberosity, and the styloid process of the radius. Moving on to the carpus, I'm going to use the picture. In this picture we can see that we have the proximal row, and moving lateral to the medial, the scaphoid, the lunate, the triquetral, the pisiform. To the distal row we have the trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, and hamate. Then we have the scaphoid, which forms the wrist joint with the radius. The ulna forms a joint with the pollex. The phalange forms a joint with the pollex. So we have the metacarpals and the phalanges. Moving on to the pelvic girdle. In the pelvic girdle, we have the two coxal bones. We have the pubis. Let's turn here. The pubis and the coccyx and the sacrum. This all forms, and the hip bones form the bony pelvis. Then we have the acetabulum here, and we have the pubic symphysis here. We have the obturator foramen here. There's the iliac crest here, the greater sciatic notch here, the anterior superior iliac spine, which is here, the greater sciatic notch, right here, and the ischial spine, which is here, and the ischial tuberosity down here. Ischial tuberosity. All right, moving on to the femur. We have the head. We have the head of the femur. We have the greater trochanter and the lesser trochanter. There's the adductor, the abductor tubercle on top of the medial epicondyle up in here. Then we have the medial epicondyle and the lateral epicondyle, and we have the medial and lateral condyles. Lastly, we have the patella. Looking at the tibia, okay, the tibia, we have the medial and lateral condyles, the tibial tuberosity, the medial malleolus, which is here, and we have the proximal and distal tibiofibular joints. Okay, moving on to the fibula. There's the head and the lateral malleolus. The tarsals include the talus, which articulates with the lateral and medial malleolus. We have the calcaneus and the cuboid and the navicular, the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiform bones right here, the metatarsal, phalanges, and the hallux. That ends our session for today. Thank you.